Welcome to another Growth in Motion. My name is Traci Reuter. I am a fractional chief marketing officer, fractional chief growth officer, an executive growth advisor, a marketing strategist, and consultant to 7, 8, and 9-figure brands. So today's an interesting day, a little bit behind the scenes. A few of my meetings today were canceled. There's some things that were going on that my clients had to tend to. So that opened up some space in my schedule. And then had a couple of team meetings with some other clients. So a lot of times when I'm coming in as a fractional chief marketing officer, I'm also leading the team. So I have my own team meetings in my own company, but then team meetings in my client company. So that's what a couple things were today. But something I wanted to share that I'm working on with one of my clients is we are doing an email blast. So we did a media buy in a magazine specifically chosen because the readership is highly likely to be our ideal target audience. We're going to be running some print ads, digital ads. But one of the other things we're doing is an email blast. We purchased the opportunity to send a branded email to their list. I believe it's 8,600 subscribers. It's not a huge list, but it's very niche specific. This type of a media buy can be very beneficial because these are already people who share their emails and you're able to leverage someone else's list to get your message in front of them. Now, we're not going to have a ton of people that are going to transition over that. It'll probably be somewhere between 2 to 5%. But again, this is a highly targeted audience. Now, what I wanted to share with you today that was, I think, really important as we were doing this. So our designer, who's amazing, mocked up the design of the email itself. And as I was reviewing it, one of the things that really came to the forefront of my mind is that every piece of copy, every line, everything that somebody reads, the very first sentence will determine if the person reads the second sentence, and the second sentence will determine if the person reads the third, and so on and so forth. So what was incredibly important about this particular project was the first thing was the email subject line. So the email subject line, the original one that was sent to me, it was good, and it really felt like it was in line with the magazine, but I had to question, is it good enough? Is this good enough to get somebody's attention in the emails to get them to actually click on it? This is how clickbait came to be, right? Like people would write things. Clickbait is when the line is so interesting and you click on it and it takes you to something that is completely different. That's clickbait. Good copywriting is creating something really powerful that gets somebody to take action. So I spent a lot of time really massaging that subject line because that was going to be the crucial thing to get somebody in the inbox, to get their attention, to get them to then open things up. And it's very easy to put all of your time and energy on the email itself and then do the subject line as an afterthought. It is the same thing sometimes where anything that you put a lot of time and energy in, the next thing might be something that you rush through and you have to really stop and ask yourself, do I need to slow down because this next piece is really important? And so that was the case with this. So in order for this campaign to have a snowball chance, we need to make sure that subject line is really good. So I spent quite a bit of time really massaging the first headline inside of the email and the first paragraph. The design looks amazing because the designer is fantastic. He really gets the brand. He really gets the ideal client. And we just had to make sure that the copy was good. So that's a little tip for you today with a little bit of insider information about what I'm working on. The email goes out in a week. Hopefully, in maybe 10 days or so, I'll have some insight on how that actually worked. We're doing a lot of interesting media buys for this client in places that I have never done before. So it's going to be really fun and interesting. And we're also working hard to leverage technology to be able to track where, if someone clicks through to our site, where did it come from? So things like QR codes and different landing pages and UTM variables, and just making sure that we are doing everything we can to have really good data so that we can make good decisions for the next time around. So anyway, that's it for me today. I would love if you've done some interesting media buys or you've worked with the newspaper or magazine. I'd love to hear from you. Or if there's anything in particular that you're curious about when it comes to growing businesses with marketing strategy and marketing tactics, please drop a comment below and I'd love to hear from you. So with that, my name is Traci Reuter. This is Growth in Motion, my friend, and I will see you next time.